1. Action. Okay, so in this video, I am going to explain about how do I choose stones and why I don't watch YouTube stone review videos, or for that matter, I don't even read online reviews. So first, grit number and abrasive size. These are the grit numbers, and these are average size of abrasive by JIS, Japanese Industry Standard. Yes, these are standardized. So let's take a look at one of the most common medium grit stone, 1000. 11.5 micron, right? And it is okay, it is allowed by law to sell a stone, a mix of 800 and, for example, 1500, and blend it and sell as 1000. Okay, so keep that in mind. For some people, just these numbers will tell you what kind of jump is okay and what is not okay. So for example, I use 400, 800, both by Naniwa Chosera, for reshaping the bevel. 400 to 800 grit, the size of abrasive is roughly the half. And this is why companies, they line up like this. And so this makes perfect sense from 400 to 800. The tricky part is when you are moving onto something higher than 3000 from somewhere around 1000. So I guess I may need to take this shot separately, but this is 400 grit stones abrasive. That's 30 micron. Okay, and those are all relative in the size. When I drew these pictures, I made this square from here to here, that's 30 millimeters. So you are looking at 30 micron, but in millimeter scale. And 1000 grit stone is 11.5 micron. So compared to this, 400 grit abrasive, 1000 grit abrasive would look like this. Pretty big difference, right? So this picture kind of tells you it is not a smart move to jump from 400 to 1000. You want something in between. And look at the 8000. That's 1.2 micron. And 1.2 micron looks like this compared to 30 micron, or even 11.5 micron. So this is what happens from 1000 to 8000. No, you want something in between these two. Ideally, I am not saying you can't make this jump. And this is what happens when you make a huge jump. YouTube knife video channels are funny bunch of people. Ever since Nathan Fancy started using the word two-dimensional for Leatherman's screwdriver tips, you know, those bit set, flattened shaped, they are not two-dimensional. They have thickness. So, you know, people who use the word two-dimensional in the world of YouTube, they usually don't have mathematical sense. They don't understand the meaning of two-dimensional and three-dimensional. So when they talk about 2C versus polished, this is all they can think. Medium grit, coarse, and fine. Yeah, 2C and polished. This is all they can imagine because they don't understand what three-dimensional world is. So I made this drawing. Look at this picture and think this is part of Yanagiba or Usuba. So this apex is never truly V-shaped. It's always, okay, so apex has some width or radius. It will never be zero. Nothing in this universe, three-dimensional world, has thickness 0. Everything has the thickness, depth. So when you sharpen this edge with, say, something like 320, 400, this is what happens. Look at this. And this is the size of abrasive, roughly. In reality, as you keep sharpening, the metal particle and abrasive that came off from the stone surface and then crushed, they also work as an abrasive. So it's a little bit more complicated, but this is a simplified version of the drawing for the sake of explaining, so that you can easily grasp the concept. And what happens if you make a huge jump to find stone? This is what happens. From something like this to this, the really fine, the small particle, abrasive particle, cannot reach to this area. It only sharpens this part. So what you are doing is this. So even if you feel the bar, you are not really making any, you are making some sort of edge, but you are not really making it sharp enough. Or to be more precise, you are not making edge to perform at its best. So this is why you need to go in kind of, small increment. Especially important is the middle grit stones. And this is why companies like Sharpton, okay, so in Sharpton's line, ignore 400, 800. Sharpton, M15 and Hanochromac, from 1000, next is 1500, and then 2000, and then they don't have 3000, 4000, they jump to 5000. And there is a reason for that. And actually, you don't have to go through all these numbers if you don't want to think. If you don't enjoy mathematical thinking, you can just follow the company. Okay, so Sharpton, how many years they have been making sharpening stone? And they are still in business, and they haven't made any change to their lineup. So that means you can trust them. So you can just follow their lineup. And to be quite honest, I don't think you have to go 1000, 1500, 2000. But you want something, two of them in between here. Meaning, if you buy the 1000, you want either 1500 or 2000 before jumping onto 5000. Do you know what I am saying? So don't try to second guess, and don't blindly believe YouTubers. Do you think seriously they know better than the engineers of Sharpton or Naniwa? Naniwa is made by Imanish. Naniwa brand is made by Imanish. It is like some random guys on YouTube is trying to second guess, outsmart the engineer of Honda, Ducati. It's not going to happen. So this is about how I choose stones. And I'm the one who wants to simplify the system as much as possible. And one more thing about natural stones, because I have a very mixed feeling about natural stones. Keep in mind, both blue Aotoishi and Amakusa stone that I've been showing on my videos, both of them they are purchased more than 20 years ago. So I know they cost like at least $200 per stone these days. And there is no guarantee the quality is the same as 20 years ago. So I really can't say I recommend buying those expensive natural stones from Japan. I cannot say anything about those Belgian natural stones. I have zero experience. But what I do know is usually natural stone gives much more aggressive bite without being something like coarse. There is a massive difference between the way it feels when cutting. I think the good example would be cutting unagi, eel. If you are in this business, you know what it feels like. And the knives that are sharpened with natural stone, it just keeps cutting. Whereas knives that are finished only by synthetic stones, you can feel the edge wearing out. And forget about the edge that's been finished with diamond plate. They are so coarse, and the feeling is not even close. Diamond plates are useful, but I can live without them. But I do need whetstone. So this is going to be a short, quick video, but this is something to think about, especially this is what's happening. When you make a huge jump, you are only making a small, tiny progress at the end of these edges. So again, this explains why micro bevel is useful, kind of necessary for actual restaurant work. But that's going to be a separate video. And I guess that's it. Cut.